Let's talk about those pull ratios for Phantom Nightmare. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. We have a breakdown for 150 cases. Alright, so before you're like, wait a minute, is that a lot? That is 1,800 boxes. Alright, so your sample size here is pretty good. Now, Konami's promise to us is that in core sets, card printing ratios are a lot more even. There's no short prints, as we are to call that, and we are here to talk about that. So, starting things off here with Horus, the Black Flame Deity, 358 Horus. That's not terrible. Low is going to be 368. Packbit, 369, giggity. Goblin Biker, the Big Gabunga, 353. Magispector Orthros Nue at 375. We have 360 on the Grand Entrance. Mutamorphosis coming in at a nice 357. The Black Goat Laughs at 342. Iron Thunder at 357. And Vidos, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction, at 374. So keep in mind, across the board with all of these, everything looks pretty even. You gotta swing variance in here a little bit and give some consideration to that. So as long as our secret rares are evenly spread across the board, that's the biggest thing that we talk about. Now, okay, so secret rare distribution looks fine. There's nothing out of left field, right? Well, so this is where things get interesting, in my personal opinion, and it's in the Ultra slots. Now, as long as secrets are evenly distributed, because those are typically the more sought after cards, typically, but there's some interesting things back here in the Ultra slot. So, for Ultras, Goblin Biker Doug Charger, 474. Okay, well, sure. Snake Eyes Pobbler, 474. Okay, so that's not bad. Saphira, Dragon Queen of the Voiceless Voice, 472. Okay, Carnot, the Eternal Garbage, coming in at 480. EMP Meow Mine, 484. And then Skull Guardian coming in at 463. Huh. So a lot of 400s there, but this is interesting. When you get down to Yubel, the Loving Defender, you see 578. Wait a minute. 578 from 472. That's an interesting variance swing. Okay. We get down here to Raid Raptor, Rising Rebellion Falcon at 463. Okay, so... Okay. Magispector, Drago Rio, 569. 566 on Promethean Princess, Goblin Biker Grand Bash at 576, Psychic Processor at 563, Priestess of the Ashen City at 578, and 578 on the Awakening of Vidos. So there's a discrepancy in Ultra Rares? Anywhere from an 80 to 100 swing on some of these, putting Pobbler at 100 less potential copies versus something like the Promethean Princess out here, who has more printings available for it. Huh. Are Ultras supposed to... I mean, is it 100 swing enough to really care about? Because what was that, like a 3-2 ratio to like 3-7 ratio? I don't think it's really that much of a swing, but it's cool that, like, the Ashen cards... Okay, so if we were to use this data and look at things that could potentially be reprinted a lot more quickly than others, I mean, Priestess and Awakening as Ultras, a little bit more available. Typically, we've seen TCG exclusives not get reprinted quite as fast with some of this stuff, so maybe the numbers that they're choosing to push these things in could potentially mean faster reprints, but I don't know. That part is interesting. So, there are differences in your ultra rare category slots. Huh. I guess the more you know. I never would have thought about this, even if it's a little bit of a swing here and there. But if you're going through this much product, things do look a little bit more even. Psychic Processor being one of the ones that, you pull more of. Psychic Processor, a lot of people are just like, cards bulk, and I do agree. Now, let's talk about your quarter centuries, because quarter centuries we don't know anything really about, and also the case size sampling that we have here for these, we're going to consider there's a lot of variance with this, because some of these QCRs in hindsight look like they're shorted, but the quarter century departments are very interesting things. So Horus the Black Flame Deity, 25. That's not terrible. We got 20 low, the Prayers of the Voiceless Voice. That's not terrible. Packbit, 20. Okay. Goblin Biker Big-Bunga, 22. And then we had 20 copies of Magispector Niue. Now, Goblin Biker Grand Entrance only had 10. That's interesting. We also only got 9 Mutamorphosis. Okay. And then only 8 the Black Goat Laughs. Black Goat Laughs is the shortest QCR available out of this product. Huh. Okay, well that's interesting. Then we had Iron Thunder at 15. Vidos, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction, only 10 of those. I feel like that card is just mass. I feel like this is variance because I saw like multiple Vidos open in my own sneak peek. So, who knows? Goblin Biker Doug Charger, 26. Snake Eyes Pobbler, 20. Saphira, the Dragon Queen of the Voiceless, 20. Karnot, the Eternal Garbage, at 21. EMP Meow Mine at 22. Skull Guardian had 26. That's actually pretty good. Yubel, the Loving Defender, 12. That's a big one. All right, I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to see the Yubel ratios be so low. Like that's if you're a huge fan of Yubel, looking at early sample size, that's rough. Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon, 22. 27, Magispector Drago Rio. Promethean Princess was 25. That's a very strong swing up here for the Promethean Princess. I like that. Goblin Biker, the Grand Bash, coming in at 13. 13 Psychic Processors. And I'm going to be honest with you, nobody wants to pull Psychic Processor. Not even Psychic Processor wants to be pulled. Alright. They also had 13 Priestess of the Ashen City. Wow, the waifu tags. Awakening of Vidos, 10. And we had 21 bonds pulled. So, keep in mind that this is all sample size. All right? This is 150 cases. When you're looking at larger ratios and things, you can see more of a broad picture as to what you expect to see. Seeing that ultra rares have a discrepancy in being equal across the board versus your secret rares that do feel... Secret rares, I think, are fine now. They've done a fantastic job with balancing that out. But seeing, who's slightly more available out here on the tipping scale is interesting. And it's also interesting to look at these quarter centuries and see, how variance can take a hold of these sort of things. Seeing something like Mutamorphosis having, not a lot of it available for this sample size. Seeing the Black Goat Laughs only have 8 pulled, you kind of take a step back and you go, wow, like, that's a lot to really consider for the most part. So, if anything to take away from this, it's always interesting to see sample size and data. And I must say, this is kind of interesting. I love this game. And when you can see numbers and take a look inside of how things are going, it is always a very interesting thing. And I'm kind of curious to see how future sets are going to go. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right?
Patrons!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.